Right, good morning. Could I have your attention, please? I'd like to thank everybody else, everybody who's attending for coming along today. Slightly unusual AGM today, insofar as our chair and town very recently resigned, so she won't be taking the AGM today. Instead, Vivian, our vice chair, will be taking the AGM. After the AGM, there are a few announcements, and then we have our speaker. So sit back and enjoy the ride.
First of all, there are apologies for absence from Keith Winter, Olwyn Winter, and Barbara Tyler, and Esther Nye. Secondly, minutes of the AGM have been distributed around. You should be able to find a copy. And may I ask you, are there any matters arising from last year's minutes? If not, can we ask for someone to propose acceptance of the minutes? Someone willing to raise the hand and merely give the name to show we accept the minutes. Volunteer. Your name, please, sir? Andy Allen. Andy Emery will accept the minutes. Thank you. Someone to second the acceptance of the minutes? June Jennings. Thank you, June. We need to vote to accept them now, so I'd like you to put a show of hands if you are in favour of the minutes. That's a clear majority. Anybody against? Anybody refuse them? No. Thank you. You're very good. Now, I'm no longer the chairman, so my report today for this annual general meeting is in fact from the committee, as it were, and I'm simply representing the committee. Our chairperson on town has resigned and unfortunately has not submitted a chairperson's report. It therefore falls to me to deliver a report on behalf of the Shrewsbury U3A committee. We'd like to thank Anne for her year of service, and we'd also like to thank a number of other committee members who are leaving or have reached the end of their terms of office. Ian Peterson is sadly stepping down from the Treasurer position and has done an incredible job of looking after our finances over the past few years. Sue Langley. Sue has devoted her last 6 years to welcoming and greeting our new members with outstanding enthusiasm. Harold Bound. Harold has attended more regional and national U3A meetings than the rest of us put together. Harold has spent his last 6 years representing both Shrewsbury U3A in the larger organisation and representing the larger organisation within Shrewsbury U3A. Work that one out. Tony Town is also leaving us after a number of years of dedication to improving our organisation. Tony has been instrumental in forming a third of all the groups that are up and running today, and he also oversaw the introduction of our computer system and online presence. Marjorie Farnsworth has been terrific secretary, but served 6 years supporting the work of the group coordinators and will be greatly missed, and we hope her thumb soon gets better. She fell on an outing. Joan Menford has been a terrific secretary. Where's Joan? For the last 2 years, but now has to step down. And finally, Philip Aldred, a committee member who you all will have dealt with at some point, our membership secretary, who's renowned for his utmost diplomacy. After 6 years of service, not just at his desk outside in the foyer here, but at his desk at home too, Philip is another of our committee members that are required by the Constitution to go and enjoy yourself now. Please would you join me in a round of applause to thank all our retired. It's now 26 years since two far-seeing women, Betty Green and Olwyn Kind, had the brilliant idea to bring together people who'd finished their working lives but were still left with a thirst for learning. The idea was simple. Why not share what we've already learned and learn something new from somebody else. That idea has grown into the Shrewsbury U3A that we have today. 962 paid up members, 101 study groups, with a further 9 in the pipeline. Groups range from active exercise groups like rambling, table tennis, bowls, to the erudite learning of languages, both alive and dead, and the ever popular psychology groups, because we never stop trying to understand ourselves no matter what our age is. And now we have a couple of quirky ones like Have Pass Will Travel becoming more popular. The Have Pass Will Travel group use their free bus passes to make a nuisance of themselves in neighbouring shops. If you have a market, watch out, they'll be there. We also have the newly formed One Club, but I haven't worked out what that one's about yet. And then there's even a Saturday morning breakfast club. The informal coffee time meetings have become a popular way for members to share their experience, promote their groups and welcome our new and potential members. These take place at Partners Cafe in the town centre on the last Friday in the month. Outside of the study groups, there are opportunities to venture out with your fellow U3A members. Stephen, Andrea and Jenny organised a number of excursions over the last year, the last one only a week or so ago to Birmingham Centre, with a barge trip on the canal and a look around a futuristic skyline of buildings. I do hope Stephen knows how much we appreciate his work planning these trips. All in all, Shrewsbury's U3A is flourishing and continues to expand year by year. The committee would like to thank the group coordinators for doing the majority of the hard work and hopes that we, the members, continue to help and put something back when we can, and more importantly, whilst we can. Ian, now I do invite you to give the Treasurer's report.
Shrewsbury U3A continues to thrive, the membership grows, and so do our funds. We have a history of prudent financial management, and we enjoy a very sound financial position. The income from membership subscriptions has increased to just over 13,000 as opposed to 8,500 last year. The majority of that is because we gave a discounted rate last year and it increased to £15,000 in the year that has just finished at the end of August. The income from gift aid also increased significantly. Gift aid is a proportion of the subscription and it's a reclaim against the tax that you pay on your pensions. So I hope that you would all have signed up for gift aid to get back that little bit of tax from the government which we can use for our charitable purposes. Our costs have also increased, but they mainly increase with membership, and the costs going up are nothing to concern us really. The surplus carried forward has increased to just over £14,800, just under 13,000 the previous year. So we're very well funded. Our operating costs are about £13,000 or £14,000 a year, so we have reserves about equivalent to a year's costs. Previously, we've operated using Excel spreadsheets for doing the accounts, but with the adoption of the Beacon system comes an accounting package, and we have shadowed our Excel-based accounts with the Beacon accounting package for the last 12 months, and they've corresponded exactly. So we have no concerns about adopting the Beacon accounting package as our accounting system, and we've done that from the 1st of September this year. So Beacon now is going to look after our accounts. The operating costs for Beacon in the coming year will be just under £450 for the year. So it's very affordable to us. My 3-year tenure as Treasurer is now over. I've enjoyed it and I've learnt a lot, but I wouldn't have been able to do it without the very able assistance of Philip Aldred, Mike Banner and Tony Tam. So a big thank you to all three of them. One of the things that's happened in the last year, we've gone through a £25,000 limit on our recorded income. When that happens, the accounting rules that we work to change slightly, and the Charity Commission insists on slightly different accounting reporting. The major difference is that I have to report to the AGM whether there have been any incidents affecting the loss of money or assets or any events which are likely to have an adverse effect on our reputation. I'm happy to report that there have been no such events. Now, I don't know if there are any questions on the accounts. You've all got a copy there in front of you. One or two people might actually get excited at looking at a set of accounts, but most people don't. Okay, there don't appear to be any questions. So I would like to propose adoption of the accounts for the year 17-18. Could I have a seconder, please? June Jennings, thank you for the vote of confidence, June. Could I have a show of hands to accept the accounts? Carried by a big majority. Thank you very much. Right, you're back on, Vivian.
We have to reappoint our Honorary President, Betty Green, who now is into her 90s, has indicated she will be pleased to be Honorary President. She's one of the founding members. It is therefore proposed to reappoint Betty Green. Are there any objections? No, of course not. So hereby, Betty is appointed the Honorary President of our U3A. Back to you.
Right, I said at the beginning of the meeting it was somewhat of an unusual year, but we'll do the easy part first. As I'm stepping down, we're required to appoint a new treasurer. We have a nominee, who is Don Burgess. Put your hand up, please, Don. Don has done a splendid job, and he's the chap who's been shadowing the accounts within the Beacon accounting system for the past year, so he's well equipped for the role of treasurer. So I would like to propose that Don is elected treasurer. Can we have a seconder? That's Kath. Could I have a show of hands in favour, please? Any objections? Large majority, thank you. So, Don, congratulations, you're now the treasurer. This year's AGM is unusual. To be nominated to an officer role, there's got to be at least 28 days advance notice. We didn't get any nominations for the role of secretary. And as I said earlier, our chair resigned a week ago yesterday, so we have no nominations for the role of chair. However, under charity law and our constitution, both of these officer positions must be filled, so there has to be a mechanism for reconciling what's happened with the current circumstances. Under section 6, paragraph 7. The way the Constitution deals with this is as follows. We can ask the members here today for a vote to accept people who may have volunteered for the vacant roles. If you vote in favour of accepting volunteers, then we can fill the 2 vacant positions of Secretary and Chair. So first of all, we have to have a vote on whether you are willing to accept volunteers here today. So, Viv, can I ask you to call that vote, please?
Yes, can you please raise your hand if you're willing to accept volunteers proposed at the meeting today? Thank you.
Right.
May I have a proposer to hold?
Sorry, Viv, can I just interrupt?
Sorry.
I said earlier we were going to ask for volunteers. We do actually have 2 volunteers. Your committee has been busy over the last week. For the role of Secretary, we have a volunteer who is Mike Smith. So, can you ask for the...
Right.
We
need a proposer then for Mike Smith. Your name, please? Phil Booth. Okay. And a seconder for that proposition?
John Peterson.
John Peterson. Thank you, John. So
we need a vote. We still need to vote.
Still need to vote. Right, so, and if you're therefore everybody's in favour, please put your hand up to be in favour of voting what we've just done. Anyone wishing to vote against holding the vote? More than my life's worth, isn't it? Okay.
We're now in a position where we can announce the volunteer to be chair, and that's Olwyn Winter, who has experience of chairing 2 organisations and has been on a local parochial church council for the last 20 odd years. So Olwyn is happy to step forward if you would like her to be your chair.
So would all those in favour of electing Olwyn Winter? Who is Olwyn?
She's not here today because
she's on holiday.
But we have been in regular communication with her over the last few days, right down to her emailing me her nomination form where she agrees to volunteer. So she is known to us, and I think she will make an excellent chair. So I'd like to propose Olwyn for the position of chair. Can we have a seconder? Yeah.
I know Olwyn very well, and she's very good all round.
Could I just have the name of the seconder, please?
Me.
Vivian.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So unless anybody wants to vote against, we can accept Olwyn Winter as our elected chair.
Okay. Thank you.
Committee members. The following people have been nominated to serve as committee members: Michael Rees, Norman Jones and Mo Heath. If they're present, could we ask you to stand? Norman Jones, Michael Rees, and Mo. Is Mo Heath here?
She's over in the back corner.
Ah, well done. Thank you, Mo. Okay. These 3 people have offered themselves as committee members. Can we have someone to propose them, the 3 of them? May we have a proposer? And your name is? Atos Michele. Atos Michele. And can we have a seconder for Atos, please? A seconder?
Yeah. Jenny first. Jenny.
Jennifer Sandre. Okay. Thank you. That's that. Will all those in favour of those 3 nominations please raise their hand? That's fine. Are there any members wishing to vote against? Good. So therefore, Michael Rees, Norman Jones and Mo East are duly elected to the committee. Please note there are still positions available on the committee. If anyone is interested, please see us after the meeting. We now have remaining an election of an independent examiner of accounts. We already have someone volunteering, Sue Tarr, who's done it before. Can we have a proposer that Sue Tarr be elected again?
I'll propose Sue Tarr.
Okay, thank you. Can we have a seconder, to name a seconder please? And that's Reg Wilford. So therefore Sue Tarr. No, any members wishing to vote against? Sue Tarr is duly elected as independent examiner. Any other business? That's fine. The next annual general meeting is 21st of October 2019. Thank you for your patience. I now declare the meeting closed.